The trade period resumes tomorrow. Let's talk about what's going to happen. So we've got 72 hours worth of trade period left. It finishes on Wednesday. There's still dozens and dozens of deals to finish up, and not just dozens of deals, that's in general. With Collingwood, there's a handful of deals. There's been a couple of news stories come out this weekend. Not a lot of Dan Houston stuff, but a couple of pick swaps that we'll talk about. Before we jump into it, it's insane to see that 60% of people that are watching my videos aren't subscribed. So if you're watching these videos, you're liking them and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It just goes a long way. We're nearly at 10,000. Wanting to hit that before Christmas, it would be absolutely incredible. So the first piece of news we're going to talk about is Braden Maynard. Now, North Melbourne went to Braden Maynard and his management and inquired if he would like to come to the Roos. Sounds like they were going to give him a really big contract. He is contracted for another year, so he becomes an unrestricted free agent at the end of next year. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the extension is that Collingwood would give them, because Maynard will be a pie for life, right? But the extension will probably be happening soon, you would think. But with North Melbourne's interest, I can see why. North Melbourne need senior figures. Was Braden Maynard ever going to leave? No hope in hell. He's going to be a pie for life. He's vice captain. At one point he wanted to be captain of the club. Collingwood epitomizes the black and white spirit, the side-by-side spirit. So Maynard will never ever leave. But I can see what the Kangaroos are doing. They do need that senior figure around. Think of it like they're trying to get like a Luke Hodge. Remember when Luke Hodge went to Brisbane from Hawthorn? That's what they're sort of trying to do. That's why they're really in the race for Dan Houston. They do have the picks. Dan Houston at the moment doesn't want to play for the Roos, so that doesn't look like it's happening. But the Braden Maynard stuff, if you've seen it, don't worry, he's going to be a pie for life. The second piece of a little bit of news that I want to talk about is Dev Robertson from Brisbane. So Dev Robertson, midfielder, 23 years old, so a good age bracket. He told Brisbane that he's going to be sort of looking around, wants to get out of the Lions, just can't crack into their team. He's from Western Australia, so West Coast have got a bit of an interest in him, but he's flagged interest that he wants to play with the Pies. Now, the Pies don't have a lot of interest in him at the moment, and it's being reported by the Herald Sun that if Dev Robertson is to play at Collingwood, the Dan Houston deal has to fall through. They don't think that you can get Houston and Robertson. It's also like a salary cap thing. It's also like a list spot thing, because you got to remember that we've only at the moment delisted one player. So we theoretically still have a full list. Yes, we've got 8 or something uncontracted players, but theoretically we still have a full list. So if you're bringing in these players, you've got to get rid of some. Would Dev Robertson be a good get? I like what he's done. He's played less than 50 games. I think he's played about 40-something games, 43 games. Kicked a really good goal in the grand final last year. Last year. He'd be a good sort of depth player in the sense that, he's not going to go past Pendlebury and Sidey just yet. But we do need that 23 to 25-year-olds. If you can get him really, really cheap, I think it was reported that he wants like 500K or something, which isn't much. But I'm cheap in the way that, is it a future third? Is it just a really late draft pick or something like that? I don't know if Brisbane rate him too highly. I think it could be a good player, like a serviceable player. He could possibly be what Lipinski was from the Doggies coming to us. He could be that player. Obviously, famously for getting his rig out against the Pies at Marvel Stadium. That's that 1 year, which was pretty funny, playing without a jumper. So I don't think it gets done. It's probably like a 20% thing. It all comes down to Dan Houston and if we can get Houston. Speaking of, this Houston deal is going to go right down to the wire. We kind of knew that. It really all comes down to Gold Coast. Everyone's still saying that Dan Houston prefers Collingwood, which is good for us, but so many teams are wanting Gold Coast to pick 13. Now, there was a lot of teams vying for pick 9 from Essendon. But Essendon and Melbourne are looking to swap that. So now Melbourne will get their Essendon's pick 9. So Melbourne will have pick 5 and pick 9. So all the clubs that wanted that pick 9 are going to want that pick 13 now. So I don't know. It's hard because Dan Houston, Port Adelaide are still standing firm that they require 2 first-rounders. Collingwood don't want to give that up. But also Collingwood have Joe Richards. We have Noble to give to Gold Coast. So I don't know why this deal should have been closed a long time ago. This should have been one of the first deals closed in the trade period. We have John Noble, we have a future first, take them, give us 13, give us 23. Bob's your uncle. We don't even have to do a three-way trade, whatever. That should have been it. Like, I don't know why there's 30 iterations of this. You know, obviously they're trying to get that three-way trade, so it is Port Adelaide, so it is Lukosha, so it is Joe Richards, etc., etc., etc. So the teams have come out and said that they can deal with these players separately. They don't have to be in a three-way trade, which is probably the way it's going to go. But you would think that it just makes sense that this should have been done already, should have been closed. Gold Coast really want John Noble. They've offered him a year's 600K or whatever the hell it is. So they really want him. They need that senior head. And, you know, getting Rioli and John Noble off that half-back line will do wonders for their team. Damien Hardwick loves a runner. So, I don't know, it just seems like a no-brainer, but I fear that this is going to go right down to the wire, which is fair enough. It always does with Collingwood. We'll always end up going to pay overs anyway. But in regards to those picks, no one else can offer what we're offering. Everyone's offering a future first and a future second, or a ship pick and a ship pick. We're offering someone. We're offering a player that they want and a future first round draft pick, which will probably be, you know, anywhere between 12 and 15 or something like that. So, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, and I know Lepic knows what he's doing. I just wish we could know what he was doing and what they were thinking a little bit more, but we'll see. I assume Monday, as soon as that 9 a.m., I think it opens at 9 a.m., as soon as that hits, it is just going to go ding, 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 ding. It is going to be off chops, but I still think that we'll wait till Wednesday before any sort of Dan Houston deal gets done. I hope it gets done earlier. There's word that he's come to Malla. He's flying to Victoria at the moment, so we're in the box seat. Can Carlton, I don't know, like Carlton have got pick 12 and 14. They really want to go to the draft. But even so, are they going to offer pick 12 for Dan Houston and just come out and surpass us? It's all just Gold Coast and us getting that pick 13 and seeing what happens. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Is there anyone else that we should be targeting that hasn't been talked about? Let me know down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets. And until next time, double shaggers. I'll swoop you later. Personal use, I just finished the 5K. I'm in Bristol right now, and I just hit my PB for 5 kilometers. So that's why I'm in a singlet. My whole jacket is soaking wet.